I'm going to start the recording. This recording is going to be available to view later. This slide will also be available to you later. And we are starting. Elaine, go ahead.
All right, so if you were in the other session with me earlier, you saw this slide already, but in case other people did not, just some technology tools. You can connect your document camera to your laptop. There's just a few steps here. You have to make sure to use the USB cable, not the VGA ones that we're used to. These won't work. It'll connect, but it won't project your document camera. So once you connect, and this is even before going into your Zoom session, you're going to go to the lower left-hand corner and click the Start button. Look for your camera, and when you select it, you should see yourself pop up. It's your camera showing you. At this point, if your document camera is not connected, you're not going to see this icon here. So it needs to be connected in order for you to switch over to your document camera. So when you get the camera, you see yourself on, go to the upper right-hand corner to tell it to switch cameras. And then it's going to switch over and show you what's being projected. So for example, and this will take me to the next one, which is showing you how to record on Zoom. So let me do a new share. So you're seeing what I'm seeing right now. So at the bottom left-hand corner is your start. Find your camera. Okay, when I click on camera, my document camera is already connected, so that's what we're projecting. If not, my camera is being used right now, so you see black because it's on Zoom. Switch over, and whoops, sorry. Let me go back there again. Okay, so you'll see black, but then switch camera, and you will see what's being projected on your document camera. Hi. Okay. So once you have that going, okay, once you have that going, so your document camera is going, you're in a lesson with your students, you're sharing, you go to share screen, advanced tab, and you want to switch to your document camera. And sometimes it takes a moment. So here it is. You are now projecting from your document camera to your participants, to your class. I don't know. Hi. Okay. So here's your lesson. Okay. You've been in your Zoom session. Maybe you did like a morning greet. Hello, how's everybody? And okay, guys, now it's time to get to the lesson. And this is where maybe you want to record on Zoom. All right. Pay attention, guys. This is really difficult. Record. Click record. You are now recording your session to be viewed later, should you choose to post it or share it with individual students. When you're done with your lesson, if you were recording, you would go back here and click stop recording. And when you are done, I'm going to go back to this slide. So we shared our screen, second camera, click share, record. When you're done, after you stop recording and when you end your meeting, it will automatically download your recording to your computer, and it would be downloaded into the documents folder of your computer. And in that folder, in the documents folder, you will see a subfolder called Zoom. And anything that's been recorded will go into that folder. And you'll know which is your video with this one here, Zoom_0 MP4. Okay. And then you could rename it to whatever you like.
All right. So, yeah, now it's my turn. Okay. Let me just very quickly. Okay. So I'm just going to be going over quickly. I'm going to try to go over quickly 2 ways that you can screen record your actual screen on your computer. So it's loading. Still loading. Okay, so Screencastify, what is it? It's a Chrome browser extension that records your screen, face, voice, and more. It's a free Chrome extension that lives in your browser. So the free version, when you sign up for it, gives you 5 minutes. It's a limit of 5 minutes. It makes it really easy to record, edit, and share videos on your computer screen. And recordings can be easily shared through email, a link, YouTube, Google Classroom, and more. So what can you do with it? There are a lot of things you can do. It's great for how-to videos, narrating slideshows, giving speech performances, practicing fluency, providing feedback. You can annotate directly on the screen, and you can upload videos directly into Google Classroom or publish them. So let me just show you very quickly what it looks like once you download it. So once you download it as an extension, it'll pop up here. And then I'm just going to show you the menu. I'm not going to actually show you what it looks like on the screen because it gets a little laggy. So as soon as it shows up right here, it's loading. So right here is like your little menu or your toolbar. You can access all of your previous recordings here. You can choose to either show a browser tab, your desktop, which I recommend, or just your webcam itself. Make sure that your microphone is on. You can embed your webcam, but since I'm using it right now, I'm not going to toggle it over. There are more options. There's a countdown for you. If you want just 3 seconds, it'll prompt you 3, 2, 1. Your video is starting recording. Or if you need to take a breath or a little longer because you're a little nervous to be on screen, you have 5 or 10 seconds. You also want to show the drawing tools in there. I'm not going to actually show you what they are because it'll just be really, really laggy. But I did right here in the presentations link a video of what the screen actually looks like when I'm recording in full view. And then I will also go over what the different tools are in the tool bar. You can annotate on to your screen as well. The next one, I'm just going to leave this on right here actually so it's easier, is Screencast-O-Matic. Again, it's very similar to Screencastify. It's a Chrome extension. It records your face, your voice, and more. This one, though, in the free version gives you 15 minutes, so it's a little bit better. What can teachers do with it? Same thing. Same things you can do in Screencastify, you can do it Screencast-O-Matic. The only difference is that when you, in the free version, it doesn't automatically download into your Google Drive. It goes into like an MP4, which you'll then have to drag over into your Google Drive. Where in Screencastify, you're able to directly, once you stop recording, it automatically saves into your Google Drive and into a folder that you'll find in your Google Drive named Screencastify. And then if you were unhappy with it, you can delete it, and it also deletes from your Google Drive. Again, with Screencast-O-Matic, the little toolbar, the little tool menu, it will not show because I'm sharing screen, but I did link a video of me using it and going over all the different things that that menu has to offer. But just to show you what it looks like this. So in Screencast-O-Matic, you're able to crop what part of your screen you want to show. So for example, if I'm in presentation mode right now and I only want to show my slides, I can do that while I'm recording. And then it gives you all the other options of how you want to save your screen. Now you're probably thinking, which one is better? I I did link a little pros and cons for you guys very quickly. And also if you wanted to know what the difference was between pricing for Screencastify and Screencast-O-Matic, I also, if you click on the names of them, I also hyperlinked all of the different plans. So you can go ahead and compare what you get in the free version versus a paid version. So as soon as it loads, if you go, for example, in Screencast-O-Matic, if you go down here to compare the plan features, you can look at what you get in the free and in the deluxe and in the premium version. So that was just a very quick overview of two, I know it's very quick, ways that you can screen record your computer screen.
Rachel, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this for students or teachers or both?
It's for teachers. For this would be very helpful during asynchronous teaching. And then you can also hook up your document camera to either one of those extensions, and you can open that as a window. Actually, let me show you that right now because I remember Yoko wanted me to show that very quickly. Sorry. Let me just share that really quick. Sorry, Anna. Very quickly. So like, for example, in Screencastify, if this loads, so sorry, it's a little laggy. Okay, so for example, in Screencastify, once the menu opens, how's the weather, guys? Okay, so when you press record, it's going to prompt or like open up a new window, and you can either show your entire screen or an application window. So mine, for some reason, it does not have it here, but right here, I have my hover cam connected for my document camera, and it would show right here, and I could just click that and I could just straight record from that window. So this is really great for asynchronous teaching. So when you're like pre-recording lessons and you want to upload it into Google Classroom, you can just drag those videos or insert those videos into your slides where students can follow along. It's all yours, Anna.
All right, guys, I know Rachel did talk a little fast in some parts, and that's mainly because she probably wanted to give me enough time to go over some of the tools I'm going to be sharing with you guys right now. If you haven't already done so, sorry, I'm setting up my computer on my end. If you haven't already done so and clicked on that link that Fong added onto the chat box to get access to the slides, try to do so, only because that's going to make it a little bit easier when I start sharing my information right now. Okay, let me move on to the right slide. Okay, so this one works great for asynchronous learning. To do video lessons, and I use two different programs to do my video lessons that you guys all get an example of down below. If you click on that Google form, it'll take you there. I'll go ahead and open it and just all the way at the end. But the programs that I used was Loom and the Smart Notebook. Now Loom, I know some of you guys were mentioning in the chat box that how do I get around the 5-minute limit? Loom is actually a free recording platform for teachers and for students. Loom has actually given teachers an unlimited pro version. So you can record videos as long as you would like them to be. Currently right now in my Loom account, I have about 70 videos, and about half of those videos are more than 30 minutes long. So this is a great way to work around the limits that Screencastify and Screencast-O-Matic has set. Screencastify and Screencast-O-Matic are great if you're doing a very short little video or a GIF of some kind showing directions for something, or just a quick update. But if you want to set longer videos, you want to create that longer video for your students, Loom would be a great one to take a look at. I'm going to go ahead and open it up just so you guys can see what it looks like inside really quick. Okay, when you first log in, I'm going to be this is my homepage. When you guys click on that link, it's going to take you to a page where you guys can sign up. make sure, because I kind of had a conversation with a coworker earlier, make sure that when you sign up for your account, you are using your gesd.us account, so your school account. So that way you get the pro unlimited version of the account. So right now I have, if I go to my account settings right now really quick, the Loom Pro. So again, it's free for education, but you must use your school email. If you do not use your school email and use a personal one, you're going to be limited as to how many videos you can have in your personal library. And you're also going to be limited as to how long some of your videos might be. Okay. And you can store all of them here. You can even create libraries for your students. This is a library that my students had during our distance learning back in spring. So they had access to it, so they can go back in and watch the videos as many times as they needed to watch it. Just in case they had finished the assignment, but they had moved on, or they were preparing for their tests, they can log into that and look at the videos. You also get access to a how to use Loom library, and this library, guys, it is amazing. It shows you different ways that Loom can be used by both students and by teachers, gives you ideas, gives you suggestions. So I would highly encourage you that if you're not doing so already, to set up that account and to start playing around with it, okay? Another thing that I used for my videos, and let me just quickly show you what the video looked like, so that way you can get an idea as to what I am talking about right now. So this one's a 10-minute video. This was their math asynchronous lesson. I'm gonna pause my recording because I don't wanna go over me speaking, but it essentially is their whole mini lesson. And I was able to pause and record during my session, so that way, just in case I needed to prepare something, I could do so. For those of you who were in my previous meeting, all of the writing that I do within the video, I do use that XP pen. So again, everything is legible, it's easy to follow. Okay. And guys, to create any videos like that, I put the directions here for you. And then this is the final example as to what the final product looks like. Sorry. Let me do okay. So I embedded my video onto a Google form. I then provided my students with some problems that they needed to solve. They provided the answer. So again, this is a great way to do asynchronous lessons, because that way you can pre-record your video, or you can even use an existing video and then attach your questions to that video, so that way you can check for understanding. And really quick, the smart notebook that I am talking about, give me a second here, let me exit this so I can share my screen. And again, guys, I know I'm talking a little fast. And I'll take a quick pause in just a minute, so that way if you have any questions, because I see that some of the questions are being populated right now. Let me share my screen. Okay. This is the smart notebook that I was referring to. And yes, it's attached to essentially to a smartboard. However, you do not have to have a smartboard. For example, right now, I am at home. I do not have my smartboard attached to this laptop or anything like that. However, I can still use it. And the reason why I like using smartboard to do my lessons, and it could be used either smartboard or Jamboard, but my preference was for smartboard because it gave me a lot more tools that I can use. I can I have, for example, rulers I can use different shapes, I can use different things. I can even click and drag images onto here and then go ahead and edit from there. But more importantly, I like using Smartboard or the Smart Notebook because my writing was more legible rather than in any of the other programs, especially when I was recording my lesson. Okay. Okay. Now, before I jump on over to the other tool that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, does anybody have any questions that I could answer right now?
I had my kids use Screencastify last spring. Is it been blacklisted or because I just heard the response with this for teachers only, but it worked great for my kids too. So I just want to make sure they can still use it if they need to. No,
Screencastify is still going to be an extension that's going to be accessible. It's just that I know a lot of teachers were trying to work around that 5-minute limit. Yeah, and Loom is a great way to work around that.
Yeah, and the 5-minute limit is really actually kind of great for kids because it forces them to, shorten up their stuff if I give them so that was what was actually an excellent feature for them. So, okay, great, thanks.
Okay, and then I do see some questions.
Do we give kids a code in order for them to, I guess, drop in their recorded version onto Loom? Is there like a code?
No code is required for that one. What they would do is they would actually be signing in using their Google accounts, similar to how you would be setting up your account with your school email. Same thing for the student. And then they can attach their video recording onto a Google slide, or they can even just attach it to a shared folder that you might share with them.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, let me go ahead and reshare my screen.
Could I ask the one question that Rachel said she could answer? So I understood that we could not record, but maybe that has more to do with special ed procedurals and safeguards and confidentiality and all that. What do you think? What have you heard?
I'm sorry.
Are you talking about just screen recording, or are you talking about like recording your meetings?
Recording the meetings, yeah.
I believe parents have been asked not to record.
What's that?
Parents have been asked not to record. Students and parents have to sign something saying they won't record, I believe.
Okay. Thanks.
Also,
and then some of you guys.
Hello.
Go ahead.
I guess another thing is that if the students want to record, also they have to ask the teacher and the principal, not just the teacher.
I have a question.
I think somebody had a question, but they got cut off.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, I was asking if all of these extensions are things that the kids have to download on their side as well, or is it just on my side and I could just share whatever it is that I'm doing on my computer?
If you're doing like recording a lesson, for example, for like your asynchronous teaching, then you would only need to. But if you would like students to submit a video, then they would need to download these extensions as well.
Okay, thank you.
Now the other app, and I don't know if some of you guys have used it, but the other program is Flipgrid. This one is really easy to use. All the students would need to access this program. They don't have to download anything. They don't have to download any extra extensions onto their computers. They would just simply need a code from you, or for you to be able to share the Flipgrid link onto their Google Classroom. And just to give you a good tool here, if you follow this link right here, it takes you to a page where everything is broken down by grade level, so it gives you ideas and suggestions as to what kind of activities you can do with your students with using Flipgrid. For example, for the primary levels, it can be used as a way for you to capture how their reading skills are improving or lacking of. It can be used for daily learning reflections, reading and book talks, STEM thinking, project demonstrations, again, for the little ones, fluency and phonics. If the students are logging in using their GESD account, and you can actually set that up in a setting, you can make it so that the students can post their videos, but they cannot download it. Because I know sometimes in the upper grade, we run the risk of what if somebody downloads something and shares it and uses it against the other student. As long as they're logging in with their school account and you turn on that function that says that students cannot download videos once they've been posted, they wouldn't be able to do that. And just to give you guys an idea as to what that looks like, if you were to click on that Flipgrid link, it's going to take you to an activity. And then this is where you would prompt your students to make sure they're joining in with their Google accounts. And then this is what they would see. So for example, this is the activity that I would ask the class to complete. They would then have to click on the red icon, and then they themselves will be able to record themselves and share their thoughts on whatever the topic may have been. Now again, for any how-to videos or student explanation or teacher explanation, go ahead and visit that link. There's a question mark. The folder actually takes you to a full breakdown of all of the settings that you would either want to activate or leave alone, or different little things that you can also even share out with your students if you are rolling Flipgrid out with them. So that way, both you know and they know exactly what to click on and how to access it. Okay. And then now we're going to do the Bitmoji classrooms. Fong, was that you with the Bitmoji classrooms? Okay.
Okay, everybody, I am going to share with you the Bitmoji classroom. These are all supplemental to what you are doing. What is a Bitmoji classroom? It's just a fun and helpful interactive element that students can click through using the Google Slides that you have. So we, myself and Elaine, have some in the share folder here. When you open it, you will see a lot of examples and things you can do. I'm sure a lot of you have already explored. We just kind of took some to show all the different grade level from kinder and up to 8th grade to see what Bitmoji classrooms or things you can do in the Bitmoji classroom. Let me open it up. There it is. For example, here, one of it is the Go Math link that we found. So for my 1st grade team and I, we are going to do the link here. This is in supplementing whatever you're doing with Go Math already. And then these have actual links that the students can access a safe YouTube that represents the same lesson. Other Bitmoji here for the lower grades. Here are some read alouds that you can link stories to that they can open up and watch the videos of these books that are already YouTube safe. Another one here, again, for like maybe the K1, as I'm a 1st grade teacher, so we do a lot of calendar time. You can do this interactively with your class during Zoom. So they can sing. All these are linked to videos that you can play with your class during your session, your meeting sessions. And then as you see, there's also some for upper grades. You can find plenty of them. There's a 5th grade one here. And then there's virtual PE. You can do Zoom and Google Meet expectations that they can click and link on it. We have a lot of, let me go back to this. The how-to videos, there's a lot of great how-to videos to make these Bitmojis. The how-to here, if you click on it, it will take you to this one. You've seen this a couple times through some of the in the PDs here. So we put several links on Bitmoji classrooms, how-to and tips and tricks for Bitmoji classrooms. I don't know, Elaine, did you want to add anything before we move on to the next screen?
You're good, Fong. So all the videos you might have made, you can link them. I mean, there's several ways you can push your videos out, many ways. I mean, you could just post them in Google Classroom, but for people who use, you know, maybe Google Sites, the Bitmoji Classroom, it's just another way to upload your videos to, whether you made it on Zoom, Loom, Screencastify, whatever way. It's just another way to organize for your students.
Okay, so I'm going to move on then to Seesaw. Seesaw, this one can be geared towards all K through 8. I know it's more popular in the younger grades. The Seesaw we have now is only the free version, but it was kind of my job to kind of share with everyone my experience with it. So you take a look here. I don't know if on your free time, you can watch my video. I don't want to have to show you too much, but I think it's a whole lot of resources out there that can be utilized. If you click on that video there at your leisure, you can watch that I do explore a lot of the Seesaw abilities.
Hello everyone, so Seesaw has a real benefit to reach out to students.
You know, on your own time, so let me, sorry. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna go over here. This is my actual Seesaw, showing you some of the great tools that they have. At your leisure, if you watch the video, it tells you different things that you can do. So for example, assigning activity. My favorite part of Seesaw is going and using the community one. So they are all there for you already. If you see here from pre-K all the way to 12th grade even, especially those of you who have honors classes in the 7th and 8th grade, you can find resources here. And then just type in the subject. So let's say, for example, 4th grade, you want to do something about digital citizenship. In the community, they already have people that have already made these assignments. All you do is click on it and you can edit it to cater to your specific class needs. It is very easy to connect. There's a one way to connect parents as well as it's also, you can communicate with parents, communicate with your class as well. And then if I will show you real briefly here, my last year's class here, they are digital journals. So whatever work they complete, you'll see that it is saved in there, how many items they have. Being that this is only a free version, your students can only, being that it's a free version, you can only have about 100 lessons, but there's a way around it. What you would do is you would then delete your lessons in your library and then you can still have room for it. And that's how we'll work around it to get to utilize this free version of Seesaw. But really take a look at what can teachers do with it and see what the little tips that I found that was very helpful for me. And then we'll go to Class Dojo. Again, this is supplemental in a form of communication that we are suggesting or we are recommending only. If you take a look at the Dojo video here, this is my video, and then Rachel will hop on and show you what her video is. I really like this, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna show you my video here. And it will save me explaining everything.
So this is my Dojo classroom. I've been doing this for several years now, and I really found a connection with the parents in all different languages. One of my favorite things about messaging parents is that I can message all parents all at once, so I do not have to repeat myself. and each parent will get it individually and respond individually to me as well. Nobody else can see. A real benefit to this Class Dojo and connecting with parents is the translation feature. If you note out, it stamps it to let us know that the parents have read it, and then it also allows us to know what date they have read it last. For the parents, they can write it in their language and submit to us, and we will then see the translation is already done for us. So the parents will just write it in their language and we will see it in English. Another great thing about Dojo is that you can actually put a message in the class story about events or something that the parents can always go back. It's kind of like a message that you put on social media that you want to stay there and everyone can comment on it. So I also do summer packet and I send a PDF for the parents to upload. So one of the things I really appreciate with Class Story was that I was able to post instructions that the parents can always reflect back on and not have to go through their thread of messages. Here's one where I would tell them how to get onto a certain website. The directions are all there. I can see who viewed it. And then even parents can get this translated as well. Another fantastic feature for Class Dojo is using it as a school-wide. So going to the school-wide story, you can also post it, the teachers can, the principal can, a great source of communication where you want to get that message out to everybody. For example, here we had a delay in our yearbook distribution, so we were able to send out the message to all our Monterey Vista Viking families, and that way we know that 321 of them have viewed it, all 56 parents from this that viewed it also got it translated. So getting that message out and that connection with the parents is a definite plus. Within your class, there's also some fantastic tools at the bottom of the Class Dojo, which is under the toolkit. Some of the things I enjoy using is the timer, especially during this distance learning time. You can put a timer on and tell the class, okay, this is, we're gonna come back in 15 seconds for you to solve the problem. You put the timer on, everyone will see it, and the timer will go off. Another feature that I really like is the random. So you could just kind of select that and say, hey, look, I want to pick somebody. So it's Halle Berry's turn to respond. Another great tool is that group maker. So if you want to break them up, even if we go back to hybrid or even in the regular school, traditional school year, you can make groups of 2. There you go. They're already grouped for you. Okay. Another great tool is some other noise maker. You can see how loud the volume of the class is. You want them to have low bar, no bars, high bars, cheering crowds. So as you can see, there are actually some other fantastic things to do. You just need to just enjoy it, play around with it, and see what fits for you.
And so now back to Rachel on her input on Class Dojo. Thank you.
Fang, I think you did an amazing job. The only one other feature I think I want to share is going into distance learning this past spring, a lot of my parents had trouble with uploading things because I do teach the littles. So it was really hard for them and they used a lot of hard copy. And they're like, what are these called? They're like their books. They're pamphlets. I can't really think right now. It's 241, but they had a lot of trouble uploading them, making them into PDF. So what I did was my team and I gave them the option of uploading them into Class Dojo, and I use the profile. So what's great about this is that as they upload it into their profile, I could select, let's say, for example, Faith. I can go right into hers and I could see what she uploaded that day. It is a little bit chaotic, but this was the easiest and the fastest quick fix for my students and my parents at that time. But you guys can check out the great video that Fang made, and if you guys have any other questions with Class Dojo.
Hi, I have a question. I'll put my hand down. Thank you so much for this. My question is with the Snapchat, how you showed us earlier. I mean, not Snapchat, the Class Dojo, how you showed us earlier. How do the students open up their Class Dojo as well? Like, I'm not understanding, or are you just showing it to them? Like you're sharing the screen? Like, how did you utilize it with your students? I understand right now how they took a picture and they uploaded. I understand that, but the part where Feng was explaining before, I'm not sure like how that was done.
So Lucy, for me, I primarily use Class Dojo as a parent communication platform. The other parts of the dojo that I use was the tools at the bottom. So basically, they on the screen, I would say, okay, hey, for distance learning. So let's say, for example, it's our 10 o'clock recess time and we're in distance learning. So that they know when to come back. I would say, hey, boys and girls, you have 10 minutes. I'm gonna put the timer on, put some music on for them. And then at least they can look at the screen to see when to come back. Other things like if I wanted to put them in groups, whether it's, in distance learning, hybrid, or if it's at, back in their traditional classroom, I would just tell them, hey, it wasn't me, I don't have to pick sticks or anything like that. It will group it for me already. So once, you have that fluid to move the kids around if you want as well. And that's how I used it. I did not use the journals as Rachel did.
Oh, okay, thank you. So it's basically you're sharing your screen with them.
Correct. That's how I utilize it.
Okay, so it's not like they have their Class Dojo opened at the same time.
No, it would be my shared screen for the students.
Oh, okay, I must have missed that. All right, thank you.
No problem.
Question. Hi, my name's Ariel. I'm a new teacher at Bitely. But my question is, do parents have to download the app, or if they don't download the app, will they just get an email, or do they have to download the app?
Are you talking about downloading for Class Dojo or for a different program?
Class Dojo.
Oh, so what I just did yesterday, Ariel, is I went on my end, put the student's name, and I just took the parent's email. I sent it to them. That will, it will guide them through the steps. There are multiple ways to get to connect to your parents. To me, that was the easiest, especially during distance learning. But if you wanted to get into the backpacks, whenever you're distributing backpacks, if you wanted to give them their individual forms with the student's name, you can do that as well.
And you can you can download them once you populate your class list. You can go ahead and just print out and download the parent download forms, and then also go by different corresponding languages as well. So you can send that home if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. There's another screen we need to share.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and share that. And Winnie, yes. So now instead of sharing a individual code for each parent, now they do have a single class link. So you could just share that one link, and then that way parents don't have to try to toggle between codes. They just have to click on it and have access to it. So yeah.
And then go ahead and share the screen.
Yes.
And I just want to mention that the tools that the teachers are presenting here, that's just how they, what they did during the end of their last school years. And so these are just ideas, and they are not, Class Dojo, all these tools, they are not mandatory. But we did want to share some of these video sharing or video recording tools with you so that you have a wide array of choices.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this last slide, well, third to last, because there's just there's one with resources. This third one, this one just has some suggested extensions that or websites that you can possibly use. Mo, this one right here, the purple one, this one allows you to send voice messages to students in Google Docs slides and sheets. So it's an extension that you can go ahead and add. And basically, once you've recorded your message, it just pops up as a little play button that students can click on and then hear your message. And once this is turned on, then it just becomes an easy thing on your comment right here. Then it becomes something that you can see how mine pops up with the little purple button here as an icon. This one, I would just click on it and then I would just record my message to the students. So just in case I don't necessarily want to type something out or I don't want to really record anything like an actual video and I just want to share my message to them, then once adding this extension, you can go ahead and easily just do that. You would just have to allow the microphone use. This one right here is just a link, an extension that you can add for emojis if you want to be able to access that and add that onto the setup of your Google Classroom or any quick message that you might want to send to your students rather than toggling between the emoji website and something else. Then this could just be an easy extension that you can add. These three right here are just different websites that make it easy to put together either a quick GIF maybe that you want to create, but you don't necessarily want your background. You want to add another background to it. You can play around with unscreen and it'll remove the background. It'll leave your image. So then you can put your image onto something else. Remove BG, so remove background. So if you're using a still picture, again, it could be your picture, it could be some picture of anything else, but you don't necessarily want to show the background of that image. If you visit this website, and you can visit this website right here, it's remove.bg, and then you can go ahead and remove any background. And a lot of you have already seen those bit.ly links. If you visit this website, bit.ly.com, you can create your own account and it's free to use. There's some paid versions, but the basic is it's a free version. And you can go there and paste any long link, like for example, this one right here of the slide deck, and then shorten it. You can even customize it, like that very first one that I shared with you guys. It said G beyond. So that was something I could customize it. So you can even do so with any of the other links that you might be sharing out to parents. So that way it's easier for them either to click on or to type on to their phone. And then lastly, this last page right here, before we get to our exit ticket, this page right here, it just has a few more examples for you that you can take a look at. This one's a Google Doc where they embedded a video onto their agenda, Google Slides where it was a newsletter and with the video embedded. And then lastly was that Google form that I showed you guys earlier on, and I did open it up so that way now you guys can access it, because I think before it was saying that that link was no longer receiving submissions. So all of these are accessible for you guys to take a look at to see just a few examples as to how you can embed videos into your lessons. Okay, and that last thing is your exit ticket for today. For this one right here, if you can click on this forms hyperlink, it's going to take you to a Google form that you can fill out. And all the way at the bottom, some of you guys were asking, how do we get those XP pen? Are we going to get access to it? And these are the XP pens. By clicking on that link, all the way at the bottom, that's one of the final questions that you have to answer. So that way we know if there's enough interest for this XP pen. Or if it's only like a select few that would like them.
Anna, can you open the slide?
Please make sure that you.
Can you actually?
The exit ticket? Oh,
yeah.
And this is the exit ticket.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify the question.
Type in your name.
Yeah, please, your name, what grade do you teach, and your title, because some of you are teachers, some of you are instructional aides. And I know that the XP pens are going to be targeted for teachers. At this time, I'm not sure if they're going to be purchased for the other instructional staff.
Can you put the hyperlink on the chat?
Yeah, it doesn't open up.
Yes, I'll add it onto the chat box as well. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. And if anybody has any questions, we still have about 8 minutes.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have a recommendation for facilitating like a text-based discussion? In other words, being able to see student responses in real time instead of like following a chat stream?
How so?
So let's say I pose a prompt and I want to see all the students' responses. What would be a good platform to facilitate that?
If you want to see all of the posts from your students, there is actually a function on your Google Classroom that allows you to do that. And then you'll be able to, there's an option where either you yourself are the only one that can see the student responses, or you can also open it up so that everybody can see the responses that their classmates have done.
That's in real time? How is it displayed?
Yes.
Can you, Anna, can you demonstrate it?
I'm opening it up on my end.
Awesome.
I'm opening it up on my end so that you can take a look. Let me see here. Okay. Let me share my screen.
If you couldn't open the Google form, refresh and try one more time.
Okay, so let me show you how you would assign that kind of question, so that way you can receive their answers in real time. So you would go to create, you would go to question, you can ask whatever question, maybe it's feedback that you want from them or an open-ended question. You can do short answer or multiple choice. And then you can select, can students reply to each other? So that means that students will be able to see each other's responses. If you unselect it, that means that you only get to see everybody's response. The student will only be able to see what they submitted, and that is it. And the last option is students can edit answers. So let's say that a student made a mistake or they submitted too early and it didn't have their full response. If you don't check this box, that means that the students cannot go back in and edit their answers. So when you assign that, students, this is what you get to see. So let me open this assignment. So on your end, you get to see the students that have responded in real time, their submissions. You also get to see, for example, those that were assigned but didn't complete something, who has turned in their assignment, but you haven't graded or you haven't looked at it just yet. And then on the student's view, unfortunately, I can't show you that on my end, but on the student's view, they basically get to see a very similar display to this right here, if you open it up for students to be able to reply to one another.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, Danielle Vollers at Hillcrest.
Hi.
Hi, just making sure you can hear me. When I was trying to share from Think Central, like those interactive games and whatnot, the students don't have audio on their end, so I can't teach, and also that they can hear the video at the same time. Is there something for me to be able to enable that when I'm screen sharing?
When you're screen sharing, you want to make sure that when you click screen share, down at the bottom of that window that opens up, there's a option that says share computer sound. You have to make sure that you click on that so that way they can hear what you're hearing.
Is that the same for Google Meet as well? Is there an option for that from Google Chat?
I believe so. I want to say yes.
Computer sound. Okay. Thank you.
In Google Meet, you can only share sound in a Chrome window.
Thank you.
Good to know. Thank you.
Chrome.
And then Gabriella, to your question, I know we've given you guys so much information, but to your question, yes, Nearpod and Pear Deck do have a function that, for example, if you're in the middle of a lesson and you've added that as a activity for your class to do, there is activities where you can get real-time responses and you'll be able to see what they've answered based on the question that you provide to them.
That was for Mr. Kenny to remind. but I didn't remember if that, because I think you guys went over that the other day, but I wasn't sure anymore. It's just like so much stuff, but it's great stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So one is through Google Classroom if you're not using Pear Deck or Nearpod, but yes, Nearpod and Pear Deck also have that function. I'm trying to read some of your questions, but a lot of you are posting thank yous. Is there any other question that we didn't get to address or that we didn't get to answer for you guys? We still have a few minutes left.
I think somebody was asking about the settings for Dojo. I think it's the little gear at the top right hand, right?
No, it would be at the very bottom of the classroom, and then you just use this tools kit, I believe it's called. I have to look at my screen. Let me just look real quick.
But yes, for Class Dojo, there's two functions. Down at the bottom are the tools that Fong was talking about, where you can access the timer, the move it, or those kind of tools. And then up at the top at the little gear, those are the settings. So for example, if you don't want to receive messages past 7 o'clock from the parents, you can set that up.
I have two questions. That, they're probably way up the list, so I'll try reading. I'll have to look up the other one. I have two questions. First one, when we are doing a Zoom meeting, how do we get it so that we can view all the participants at once, so we can like get to see all the faces of our kids?
So up at the top of your screen.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a second monitor and a monitor. It could be a computer monitor. It could even be your TV that you have at home. Connected, and just in your computer settings, you're gonna have to just extend your monitor. It's a setting. So I think it's under, when you go to settings, display, you scroll down a little bit and it's about multiple screens, and click the one that is extend monitor or extend screen.
Oh, that's
so
good.
You would need a second monitor to do that. So when you have that, your working computer will show what you are sharing, and the second monitor would be everybody in the meeting.
Good. And how do you get it to do the Brady Bunch look?
You mean this, what we're seeing right now?
Like on mine, I'm only seeing 3 pictures of kids, and then I see you. I don't see.
Okay, so maybe you are on speaker view. So I think at the top right-hand corner somewhere, there should be a gallery view.
Okay. But it doesn't display everyone. It breaks it up.
Well, I don't think you'll see all 147 of us on one screen. I think
that's true. But I mean, it's still breaking it up with, let's see, this is 3 by 4, 12 per screen.
It only shows about 26 or 30 at the most. If you take the chat out.
That's what I'd like to do.
if you take the chat out, you'll get like about 30. But without the chat, I mean, with the chat, you only get about 20 something squares, or waffle, if you want to call it.
Ah, okay. So I got to figure out a way to get rid of the chat. There it is. Thank you. And then my second question, when I am toggling between all my different screens, you know, like to change cameras or to go from desktop to a PowerPoint, are the kids watching, or is there a way to keep my kids from having to watch all the little switch back and forth to toggle around to find what I need?
On the top of your screen, when you're sharing, you're gonna get that toolbar that's just for you because you're sharing your screen. And then there's gonna be an option for you to pause your sharing. So that way you don't you get to pause what your students are watching.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So in the meantime, while you're toggling between things, they either get to see whatever your screen picture is or just your name.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, can you just take a screenshot of that and stick it in the EdTech Tools section?
Yes.
Under resources. Thank you. And that concludes our session. It is 3 o'clock. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have any further questions, please email us. The slides are available for you, and this recording will be available later.